It's finally finished. This is the durability evaluation ranking for robot models using the pilot specialization build. You know, I was just thinking, what kind of team composition should I go with from now on? When I was looking at the build durability at the beginning, I thought, oh, is that so? Is that what Anixol thinks? Well then, so I decided to try battling with an amp that I hadn't used after upgrading the module. But before that, I checked to see just how much of a difference there is by comparing their firepower. With the normal build, you can do 700,000 durability in 3 seconds. I realized again that this could actually be pretty useful as Flambé. After all, even if you get too close for no reason, you can defend yourself with your ability, and since it's not a shield, it can't be broken. I decided that it could be used not just with the 500 company standard, but also with close-range weapons at the 350 company standard. Well, depending on the next junk adjustment, Jarl might be up next. If the poison needle penalty seems too harsh, well, maybe a bold build like this could be a good option. It all depends on the pilot upgrades. Jar, well, here too. Once the optimized pilot skill platform that I'll explain after this is complete, let's check the criteria for deciding which pilot to train and make our decision. Alright, let's get to the main topic. This is the durability ranking of robots with pilot skills and specializations from 10th to 6th place. These specs are set according to the next balance adjustment. They're lined up by their base durability in the top row, but even so, both Teapot and Kaji have a pretty high peak thanks to significant investment. Of course, depending on commander skills, these bots can definitely be used, but their base durability is on the lower side. Next, the top tier. In 5, Vulcan was by far the best. Looking at the median, the original 4 bots are almost on the same level in a single match, but when you factor in stability, it seems like they're no match for Vector. Just like in the previous video, let's forget about Vector. It seems best to focus your faith on Vulcan. However, what really catches my attention is Rex. Its median score is a bit lower, but in the top 10% of battles it clocks in at 148 seconds, while its lowest is around 10 seconds. Lean, correction, is -15, so when it goes well it's like, wow, this is the best. But yeah, there are battles where, seriously, when things go bad, it just melts away in an instant. It's not just a little extreme, it looks like it's turning into a really wicked peaky bot. So if we graph the central zone acute index, it looks like this. Well, the decline of Tay is pretty intense. His status is just as bad. Well, after the next update, it looks like there will be a major overhaul of the meta. Alright, from here on out, I'm desperately grinding right now. Let me briefly introduce the platform I'm working on. It's a pilot skill combination simulation that takes over 23 minutes to get results even in a modern high-performance environment. Basically, it's about picking the best 5 combinations when you focus entirely on durability with 5 selectable pilot skills. I simulated 2,002 different combinations 1,000 times each. In other words, I ran 2 million battles to get these results. As a sample, I chose his status. On the left is his status as it is now, and on the right is after the balance adjustment. Well, it looks like there aren't any major changes as a result, but 4 of the pilot skills are ones you should definitely pick. With that in mind, for the highest score, the last remaining skill was Wonder Worker. Well, that's how it looks for durability, but as an advanced approach, you could try focusing entirely on firepower in the future, or go for a balanced build. There are a lot of things you could experiment with. With this, you can think about the roles of the bots in your lineup and simulate different attack and defense balance settings. Let's try this with Anaxer too. And furthermore, just having a durability score isn't enough, right? Especially for Afrande. So let's try simulating Watt's firepower stats. Of course, I fully understand that the firepower and compatibility of equipped weapons are what really determine things, but basically, if you compare them under certain conditions, you'll see this much of a difference. So this is just a reference model score. It's only at that level. Well, even so, I think it can still serve as a useful reference. The implementation is still a little ways off, and the ability damage settings, yeah. Synchronizing the activation timing is pretty tricky. From the perspective of the Majoran theory, the green numbers on the right, so for Vulcan, it means that in the model battle, it was able to destroy an average of 3.5 Rex units. When it's Rex versus Rex, the average comes out to 2.6 units destroyed. To tell the truth, Vulcan also hasn't had the setting implemented where it deploys 2 cervical units in Stage 3. Once that's implemented, its overall combat score will probably go up to 4 units or more. So that's that. Thank you very much for watching. I look forward to seeing you again in our next video. Until then, take care of yourself.